Hey everyone, and welcome to the first in the Best of 2015 series. Today we are going to talk about, and by we I mean me, I am going to be talking about just makeup, specifically eyes, lips, and face type things. And then the following Mondays will be best of other kind of beauty products, non-beauty, etc. So Michael and Marnie are taking a little hiatus as far as videos go, but Michael and Marnie, the people, are still rocking together. Okay, so I've divided this up into eyes, lips, and face. And I went through every single one of my monthly favorites videos, looked through the description box, and wrote out every single thing, and then picked my favorites of all of my favorites. So this is a very distilled collection of products. And if you want to review all the 2015 favorites, then there is a playlist, which will be in the description box below. I also want to add a couple more housekeeping details. Every item I mention, of course, will be listed in the description box below, along with shoppable links. Everything that's going on from here up will be listed in the description box below with links if they are available. And there is a coordinating blog post. So if you want to read more and have more things to click on, then go ahead and go down to the description box and subscribe to the blog. That is very much appreciated. Okay, so let's start under the category of eyes. This one product, I say if you have this one palette, you can do any eye look you want with the addition of any other eyeshadow in the world. And I am talking about the Physicians Formula matte nudes. These are the classic nudes. They make 3 matte palettes, and I have all 3, but my absolute favorite is the classic nudes. These are all warm tones, and it's a great brow bone color. They're great crease colors. I use this in conjunction with other palettes that are perhaps lacking the perfect matte colors for transition, crease, and brow bone. So if I'm using colored shadows, if I'm using satin or frosted shadows, this is the perfect complement. I have bought this as a gift for so many people. I use this constantly. I feel like if you have all 3 of the Physicians Formula quads, the matte quads, then you do not need either of the Naked Basics. I never reach for those, but this I reach for all the time. And then the other eyeshadow palette, I consider it one palette because I couldn't make up my mind, and they're kind of the same thing, are the Too Faced chocolate bar palettes, either the original chocolate bar or the semi-sweet over here. Semi-sweet is over here. Yes, lighter one, semi-sweet, darker one is the original. These 2 palettes are, I do reach for the original more often, but lately now I've been grabbing the semi-sweet. It's hard for me to tell you which one is my absolute favorite. But I'm gonna go with the original. There's something about the originals that are always the best. And this is a palette that actually does not need anything extra. This has your matte shades, this has your shimmer shades, your neutral warm tone shades. They have come out with a 3rd one in the series, the Bon Bon palette. I don't have it yet, but I promise you it will be coming in my collection probably this month. But every time I had a special occasion this year, these palettes were the ones that I reached for. So best palettes of 2015. And then for an eyeshadow primer, I only have one to show you, my sad little mangled one here. This is the Wet n Wild from the Fergie collection. It's called Take on the Day Eyeshadow Primer. I do have several backups. Here's what it looks like in the package when it's not all mangled and sad. This is the best primer, whether it's high-end or drugstore, period. Just the best eyeshadow primer. It evens out the canvas of your eyelid, so to speak, hides all kinds of unevenness that you may have or discoloration. It gives you a nice blank canvas to put your eyeshadows on, and I find that it's not sticky, so you can still blend your shadows well, but it does give a nice base, a primer, so love. As for eyeliners, the standout eyeliners of 2015, or this whole case here, these are the Lancome. The name is deceiving because it's the Lancome Drama Liqui-Pencil, so you feel like it's a liquid pencil, but it is not. It is just your standard, good old-fashioned, put it in a pencil sharpener and sharpen pencil. They come in the most beautiful color range. They're basically waterproof. So once they set, so you have to work quickly. Once they set, they don't budge, smudge, but they do come off with regular makeup remover. I use Bioderma to take it off. They come in, I reach for the matte brown or the black most of the time, but they have beautiful colors and metallics, and hands down, absolutely best eyeliner that I've used in 2015. For mascara, it's the same brand, so I'm just going to show you both of them. Clinique just knocked it out of the park this year. I feel like 2015 for me was the year of Clinique, and I was reintroduced to the brand, rediscovered the brand this year. We'll talk more about that later. But I started off saying that the High Impact Volume Mascara was my favorite. Then it was the High Impact Extreme Volume Mascara was my favorite. And then late in the year, they released the Chubby Mascara, which I think has to be my absolute favorite. I will tell you, the brush for these is exactly the same. It's just the formula just of the Chubby Lash fattens your lashes that much more, makes them that much more dramatic, but I still feel like it's a very wearable look. So, and it doesn't smudge and doesn't run. Right now my eyes are watering from allergies, and so far so good, and they do come off easily with makeup. Now on to lips. There were two standout products for lips, and of course the first one I'm going to have to talk about are the Clinique. Now I always get the name of these wrong because I mix them up with the Cheek Pops. These are the Clinique Pop Lip Color. So Pop comes first on the lips. And these were released, I think, in March of 2015. But for those of you who have been sticking around for at least a year, you know that I was really lucky to be hired by Clinique to film the promotional video for these guys in January of 2015. It was a first for me. It was the first time I flew first class. It was really the first time I stayed in New York City. It was, well, that's not true. But it was the first time I flew first class. It was the first time I was ever on a sound stage. It was the first time I ever filmed a professional video. It was an amazing experience. And if you want to relive that with me, I do have a vlog all about it. I'll put that in the description box. But these babies, these lip color pops, they sent me home with a couple of them, and I went back as soon as they were released and bought every single shade. And the standout shades for me, it's hard to pick favorites, but I would say are Poppy Pop, which is like an orangey red, which looks amazing on every skin tone. Cherry Pop, which is a perfect neutral blue-toned red, so wearable. Sweet Pop is just a pretty pink, and then I'm wearing Love Pop today. It's a favorite, but the top three would have to be Sweet Pop, Cherry Pop, Poppy Pop. And not only are they very pigmented and creamy, but they last a really long time, which maybe because one of the advertising features is that a primer is built into the formula. So these are very long wearing, but they're not advertised as long wearing, and they're not drying, so I love them. But then a little bit later, I learned about these lippies, these lip crayons from Butter London, and these are called, I believe, the Butter London Lippies. Lippy Bloody Brilliant Lip Crayons, and these are bloody brilliant. They don't have the shade range like the Clinique ones do, but I love the ease of how to apply them. It's just a crayon. I don't love that you have to sharpen it with the sharpener that's built in. It's a little messy, but these come in some decent colors. Teddy Boy is my most reached for everyday shade. And the nice thing is, again, they're very creamy, they're very pigmented, but they last forever on the lips. So those are my go-tos as far as lip colors. Now on to face products. I have a little collection here. Let's talk about base or foundations first. I have three. I couldn't narrow it down to just one. Obviously, my favorite all-time foundation, I don't want to say holy grail, but my most reached for, my favorite, is the Guerlain Lingerie de Peau. For me, with my dry skin, this lasts a long time. It gives me an even sort of dewy, glowy coverage. I'm wearing it today. I don't think there's anything better on the market for me. I love it. I have gone through 2 or 3 bottles. I have a summer shade. I have my winter shade. I can't remember. My summer shade, I believe, is Beige Clair, and my winter shade is Amber Pale. Pale is a good word to describe me. I just love it. I need to explore more of the Guerlain range. That's going to happen in 2016. But as far as I'm concerned, if you buy one product from Guerlain, it's this one. It's amazing. For the drugstore side, I discovered this, I'd say the last half of the year, but it is a beautiful product, and every time I wear it, I get tons of compliments, both in person and online. And that's the Revlon Photoready Airbrush Effect Foundation. It's a great foundation, period, whether it's drugstore or not. I hate qualifying by saying it's great for a drugstore. It makes it seem like it's less than. No, this is just a good foundation, and I will only recommend products that are good. It doesn't matter how much they cost. And I wear the shade Ivory. I love the pump. It's very easy to use, and I use both with, usually I use a brush to apply both of these, but they both do equally well with a beauty blender. And then the last thing technically isn't a foundation, but it is, it wears like one, and it's the IT Cosmetics CC Plus Cream. My winter shade is Fair. My Summer shade is somewhere in between light and medium, kind of depends how much self-tanner I put on that day. This gives the most amazing coverage. It's moisturizing. It has SPF 50. I brought this with when we went to Palm Springs. I pretty much wore this every day. I've gone through about 4 tubes of this. Again, it has a pump feature. It's just a fabulous product, and I recommend it highly, highly, highly. Grab that. As far as concealers go, the standout for sure is the Clarins Instant Concealer. There's not a lot to say about concealers. They cover, they do their job, that's great. What I love about the Clarins is it's very lightweight in texture, even though it does cover well, and it can be easily reapplied throughout the day if you need more coverage, and it doesn't get cakey, which a lot of foundations can't claim that. So love, love, love the Clarins. As far as highlighters go, there is only one this year. The Becca Jaclyn Hill collaboration that created this beauty right here, Champagne Pop. I wear this every day. It's pretty intense for a highlighter, but it's so beautiful and it's so wearable, and this is so easily breakable, so be careful. So far, so good. Knock on wood. This is my original one. I adore this. I've used this obviously as a cheek highlight all over my face. I use this as a lid color sometimes on my eyes. It's gorgeous. And if you can get this, get it. Although I will say that all of the Becca pressed shimmering powders are beautiful as well, but this one is the standout for me. As far as bronzers go, I have 2. They're very different in price point, but very similar in effect. The first one is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Bronzer in the shade Luminous. This is the lighter of the 2 shades, and it is a beautiful shade, but I find that it is a little dark for me in the winter months. And I recently discovered the Milani Baked Bronzer in Glow, and it looks more orange, but it's not. It's a very similar finish and tone to the Hourglass, but it's a lot lighter in the payoff, and this is much more usable for me in the winter months. And it's what I'm wearing today, and can you see how pretty? It's so pretty. It's very pretty. It does come in other shades, but if you're fair like me and you're looking for a nice glowy bronzer, not to contour, but just to add color to your face, both of these are excellent. And then the last favorite of 2015 is a blush, and these are the Clinique Cheek Pops. I went on a total rampage hunt, whoops, almost broke one, trying to hunt down all the shades, and I still have more to buy. These are just very user-friendly. They are pigmented, but not to where you're afraid that you're going to put on too much. They come across kind of sheer and again dewy on the skin. This is Heather Pop, which is my favorite for the fall shades, I would say. But then the 2 that I reach for probably the most are the Nude Pop. This is my favorite. This one I had to hunt down, and it just gives a soft nude glow. If you're afraid of wearing blush, grab this one. And then my other most used one, which just adds a hint of kind of neutral color, a little more than the Nude Pop, is Ginger Pop. And it looks like that. So it has a little more reddish, brighter tone to it, but it does not come across this bright on your skin. So those are my 2015 beauty favorites. None of these should come as a complete surprise to you. They've all been featured in a monthly favorite somewhere in the year of 2015. Please let me know in the comments below, what were your favorites for 2015? What are some things I still need to add to my list? And next week, we'll see some more of Best of 2015 next Monday. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe if you want to see more, and check out the blog too. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Hey everyone, and welcome to December favorites. I don't have a whole lot of things to talk about on this one, mostly because my most favorite thing of the month of December has had to have been